Hey guys, welcome to another riveting, awesome, amazing episode of G.N.A podcast, Games, Nerds, and Alcohol. We are joined tonight by the infamous and lovely friend and co-host, Shadow Fox.
That doesn't sound like me at all.
Sure it does. Why not?
What? I'm not that lovely.
Just roll with it. Just roll with it.
I am back from the mountains.
Well, there you go.
You didn't get killed by that jungle cat.
I know, it's amazing.
Oh,
Fucking A.
And you heard just now the elusive blue shark.
Hey guys, when you're hiring jungle cats, I highly suggest you get local. Don't get exotic. It may be cheaper, but it's not going to do the job at the end of the day.
All right, and yeah, I kind of botched this up. I didn't introduce myself. I am Zyber Blooded, Zyber Games, and co-host of the G.N.A podcast. And I'm going to turn this over to our amazing, awesome host, Cecil Xavier.
Thank you, Zyber. How you feeling today, man?
I feel like a little worm on a big fucking hook.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens whenever you play Stick Fight. I don't know. It seems like
my fucking snakes.
I want to say that that there's like definitely some juice going on here. Like there's more juice. Like people are harder to kill, a lot harder to kill. But anyways, I'm Cecil Xavier, your host, and yes, this is the G.N.A podcast, and we are playing a game called Stick Fight at this very moment, and not doing so well at it. But yeah. That's totally not what we're going to be doing, though. Like, we're actually going to be talking about stuff, and it's going to be totally not interesting because we're going to be totally playing Stick Fight instead and getting our asses reamed out. But, first most important thing of the night, what is everybody drinking? So, Blue Shark, what are you drinking tonight, man?
Water.
All right. Let's see. Good old water. Solid. What about you, Zyber? What are you drinking tonight?
Tonight, I am drinking one of my favorites, and that's Brew Free or Die, 21st Amendment Brewery, Blood Orange IPA.
Nice. What about you, Shadow Fox?
Good old-fashioned Mountain Dew.
Hurrah.
Not even one of the flavors. Oh, why am I below the floor?
I don't know. I don't know how you got there. That's pretty impressive. I myself am drinking what's left over of some Blue Moon, because I still have a whole bunch of Blue Moon left over. I can't believe I won that. But after I finish this, I'm not having anything, so I'm pretty much just having a one beer night. Oh. Well, if you guys haven't played Stick Death, this game is it's
Stick
really
Fight.
Or Stick Fight, whatever. It's Stick Death. Come on, don't give me that.
It's got color. Stick Death never had color, but
It did too. There was the red and blue sticks.
This is the just everybody dies stick. Oh, God.
And there goes my body. Well, I guess we got to kick into the second segment of the show, State of Games. So, Blue Shark, what was your State of Games, man?
holy shit, what the fuck just happened to all of us? Alright, so, I've been playing, some Splinter Cell Conviction, and, I'm enjoying that, going back in time with that one. I've also been playing, some, Ghost Recon's Wildlands, and then still waiting for them to fix the game. I look forward to when they finally do fix all that shit. And, been playing some Pokemon Go, and that's about it.
Nice. What about you, Shadow? You're up in the mountains. You been playing any games this week?
No, I started playing Borderlands now that I'm back home, but no, I haven't. This is the first actual like real gaming I've done other than dicking around in Borderlands again.
Oh, God.
Oh, jeez. I still won.
I don't know how.
Magic.
I myself have actually been laying it pretty low on video games this week of myself. I guess it's just been the week to kind of chill out. But I played a little bit of Destiny, and I played some Marvel Strike Force, and that's really it.
Is there a black hole?
There is a black hole.
That is new.
That's definitely new. I wasn't expecting that, but I got an achievement for winning, I guess. So That's interesting.
You're welcome. I created the singularity.
But yeah, my state of games has been pretty lax, pretty chill. Pretty much just haven't had time. I'm getting geared up to start classes again. And, I'll know how much I love going to school. So, yeah, I've been trying to get myself geared all around that. But let's get into the actual topic of the show.
Wow, really?
So, the topic of the show this week was actually going to be specifically...
No state of games for me?
I'm sorry, what?
No state of games for me?
Oh, no, dude, you suck.
You're not important.
I'm joking, man. I totally
Ouch.
forgot about you. What's your state of games, boss?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Conan Exiles, and yeah, I just got into slaving, so now I'm a slave owner.
Nice.
And a bit of Pokemon Go. That's about it.
Well, so it's been a pretty chill week, I guess. I guess it's summer's in full swing. Everybody is not playing video games and doing stuff outside. Like
Summer's almost over.
Yeah, I know. I was saying it's a full hardcore swing. People are outside doing stuff like, not playing video games and shooting up fast food joints and all that stuff.
We're not talking about my hometown right now.
Oh, is your hometown Jacksonville?
No, I was talking about Richmond.
Oh God,
We had a shooting this weekend.
there was actually just a shooting down in Jacksonville where Blue happens to reside. Blue, you want to report on that? What happened there?
I mean, I wasn't in town when it happened, but apparently the Madden preliminary tournament thing that was going on in Jacksonville, hosted by EA. There was a guy who came in and he shot up the place, and I think he ended up killing a few people, unfortunately, and then he turned the gun on himself and shot himself. Some really fucked up stuff, and I'm really sorry for the people that had to go through that. I wish them the best. I know that sounds like shit, but I mean...
Well, what else can you say other than...
Yeah.
I mean, not like you can...
Yeah, I mean, you can't really do anything. It's nothing can be done about that.
Yeah, it's not like we could have prevented it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we may jest, but it is kind of a serious thing where somebody... And that's not video games in general. That's like some weird subset of people who just can't handle something. I'm not even sure how that really rolls out to. But, yeah, we definitely feel for those people and hope that, they can speedily get through it. It is what it is. And not to kind of make light of it, as I always do in every way, shape, or form, but really? Like, it's Madden that's going to make that... It's Madden that's going to make that happen? Like, Madden is what made whatever dude freak out and start killing people.
That's what I said about it. I'm like, of all the things to get upset about, because my understanding was he lost and came back.
Yeah, I really don't know too much about what all happened. But it's just... Where are you in this game, Shadow?
Oh, I crashed out on rejoining.
Oh, okay. But yeah, to take something like that is just really fucked up, because it just shows how much someone doesn't value how precious life is.
Yeah, but is life really precious?
It is.
But I mean, like really, really, because
I
just got like my stick figure thrown into the top of a spiky thing, and I don't know. I'm not feeling like my life was all that precious right there.
Uh-huh.
Well, in video games like Diablo, life just isn't.
Which that's a great point, Shadow, because our actual topic tonight was not about some crazed person going and shooting up a Madden tournament, which I don't know. I'm sorry, that still blows my mind. I mean, of all the games to make somebody violent, I mean, like, Really. Anywho, our major topic tonight was actually about Diablo specifically. Well, let's start. Who wants to give a little brief, I don't know, synapse of the original Diablo game? Anybody?
It's about the devil. I don't know. I've never played it.
I'll take a stab at this one. So you, fuck, I'm trying to remember what Remy told me about this, because he explained it to me once while I was playing Diablo 3, because that's where I started with the game. But something about the devils goes on the rise and starts a war in heaven, and you're wandering like the desert or something, and you're trying to find him and stop him.
That's actually, I think that's Diablo 2.
Damn.
Diablo 1 actually boils down to being, you're I think you're technically a group of crusaders that, you could be a rogue, a mage, and a fighter. And you end up on this town, Tristram, and you find out that Diablo is like, they're trying to raise Diablo down at the depths of this catacombs of underneath the church. Now, granted, it's been a long time since I played it, so there's probably something I'm completely missing too. But I remember the gameplay itself more than I remember everything else. Like the first guy I remember you got to fight is the Butcher. See, the second one, you're following the stranger through the desert. Or maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe you are traveling through the desert. You know what, Blue? I'm going to say that you're right. No, I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm going to say you're right. I mean, I'm still going to punch you in the face here.
Okay, this is beginning to sound like the Metal Gear episode all over again where I'm lost as hell.
Well, did you ever play any of the Diablos?
No.
Okay, so here's how Diablo works. Do you know what isometric is?
Yes, I got that.
Okay, so Diablo was an isometric dungeon crawler. It was all about the loot. Like, every Diablo game has always been about the loot. In Diablo 1, you start off with talking with... Actually, I think you start off talking with Deckard Cain. And he basically... You get sent on a quest to go down, and you start working your way into the lower levels of the catacombs of underneath this church. And as you start getting farther and farther down in these catacombs, you start finding things that you have to, kill. Like the Butcher, which is for some reason the only one I can remember. Oh yeah, there was also the king, the friggin' fallen king. What the hell was his name? Leoric. That's the first time you actually meet Leoric, which actually the Butcher and Leoric both come back in the third game.
Follow-up question about the caverns. Did you describe your sex life, or are you talking about a game?
I would have to have a sex life to describe it.
So, the setting of Diablo, according to Wikipedia, starts off with the player arriving in Tristram. Several of the remaining townsfolk consist of players such as Deckard Cain the Elder. The labyrinth under the cathedral descends from the dungeon/church to the catacombs, followed by the caves, and finally hell itself, each with a mixture of undead, animals, and demons. Leoric has been reanimated as the Skeleton King. Late in the game, the hero must fight Archbishop Lazarus and eventually Diablo himself. At the end of the game, the hero kills Diablo's mortal form. The hero takes the soul stone out of Diablo's forehead, after which Diablo...
Whoa. Don't say the whole damn game.
I think he just described the Avengers movie.
What? I mean, this game came out in 1997 in Europe, and Microsoft Windows got it in 1996 at like December 31st.
Well, I guess there's the whole episode, guys, so we'll see you later.
Shout out.
What? We had the plot completely wrong.
You're right, we did. We had the plot completely wrong. Well, no, I was kind of right. You show up in Tristram and you go and shoot stuff. You talk to Deckard Cain.
Yeah.
How the hell did I win that one?
How did Blue win the win before?
That's amazing, because I actually wasn't even moving.
Well, click your button, because you've got a friggin' snake rocket launcher. Anywho, so Diablo was... Wow, what was the best way to describe that? How the hell did Blue get back up there? I don't even know what just happened there. Really, you've got to have this on video. Like, we should have been live streaming this. Anywho, so in Diablo, you've got, you basically, it's super simple. There really isn't a lot to it. Like, the whole formula of Diablo is, you've got a character, you equip weapons, you go down to the first level, you kill stuff, you get more weapons, you go down to the next level, you kill more stuff, and so forth and so on. I mean, that's literally the entirety of the game, is you just keep working your way down level after level after level and kill things. And the whole game, I mean, with as simplistic as I just described it, that's literally the entire game. But the game is stupid fun because you're just continuously looking for more loot. You know, that's the name of the game, is just finding loot. And I don't know, it's a formula that they've perfected over the years.
Yeah, and then maybe I'm wrong about this, but in Diablo 3 you have the ability to go back and play the game again on harder difficulties, and
they had that in the first Diablo. So you could play on harder difficulties in the first Diablo. Pretty sure you
do torments.
They didn't have torments. They didn't have difficulty levels like that. At least not that I remember.
Okay, well, then I have no idea. I mean, because in Diablo 3, it was all about, getting better and better loot than what you currently had in order to do better in the game, essentially. Just so you could complete it faster and eventually
that's what I remember of the first Diablo, is playing that game over and over and over again, trying to see how quick I could get down and take out Diablo. Like that's...
Yeah, and then... Yeah, and you had things like hard mode where you died and that was it, right?
Hardcore mode.
Hardcore.
So, you know what? I can't remember if hardcore mode was in... I don't believe hardcore mode was in the original Diablo. Okay, now, so full disclosure here. The first Diablo I played on PlayStation. Like, I never actually played it on PC, even though that was really the definitive way to play it, I guess, was on PC. But I never played it on PC.
Yeah, I saw Diablo, I think, in Blockbuster when I was a kid, for the Nintendo 64, maybe? Instantly turned off, because I'm like, oh, devil's hell. Like, I didn't do good with scary, so I was like, I'm going to stay away from this shit, because I'm pretty sure this is going to scare the whole living shit out of me. And that was, back in the day when you looked at the front of a game box, and that's how you decided whether or not you were going to buy a game, based off of how it looked on the box art.
Yeah, because back in the day, you didn't have a lot of fancy graphics to really figure out what you were buying. You just had what literally was on the box art. I can remember Atari games and Nintendo games. You look at it and you're like, oh my god, look at the box, look at this art, it's amazing. And then you go and you play the game and you're like, this is horrible. Like, I hate E.T. now.
That's just a really bad game. But I think it was correction. It was Sony PlayStation had Diablo.
PlayStation. Well, that's where I played it. Was on PlayStation.
Yeah. Now, I've purchased games based off the box art before. I think I still do in some occasions.
Yeah, I do too.
But that was the way to do it in the 90s. And I guess 80s. Because, there wasn't game reviews on the internet, so you could either play it at a friend's house, which I had none of those, or go off the box art.
I'm just waiting to see. I don't even know who this is right now. I think this is Shadow.
I think that Zyber is yellow.
Shadow's dead, man.
Yeah, I'm dead too, so...
Yeah, you're screwing around with Zyber. You guys are masturbating each other.
Oh, he still gets you.
Hey, actually, I think I got myself.
Yeah, you hit the...
I went too soon.
Yeah, 1 in 5 men, dude. Don't worry.
Well, the magic knife's on the field, so...
Oh, that knife is amazing. But anyways, back to Diablo. So a lot of great kind of throwbacks go. So Diablo was good and it was fun, and it started pretty much it really started that isometric dungeon crawl view, and Diablo has stayed that way ever since. Like Diablo 2, Diablo 3, all of them have always been that same way. And, both for, I guess, good and bad. It hasn't really changed. All they've really done is up the graphics, made it look better, put more particle effects on the screen, all that sort of fun stuff. Now, Diablo itself actually created like a whole genre, really, of that dungeon crawl, of that isometric style gaming. All right, now I'm way too focused on this freaking game, Snake Fighter.
We should have live streamed it.
Oh, we should have live streamed it. At least then it would have. Oh my god, my body's just on fire. Like, that was it. There was nothing that good that happened from that. I was on fire and died. What are some clones though that have come from
Fate series?
Okay, well, describe the Fate series.
Well, the Fate series is basically a similar premise of Diablo. You run through this world doing sort of similar things, such as the little, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? I'll give you this armor. It's more so like Diablo 2, where you got those little side things of, my wife was trapped in the graveyard when the demons hit, kind of stuff. But yeah. It's another loot crawler. That's basically it.
Okay. All right. The one I remember, I don't want to say vividly, but I think I played it more than I did Diablo, was, oh crap, now I'm forgetting the name of it. It was, like, Titan Quest?
Path of Exile? Oh, never mind.
No. It was like Titan Quest? God dang it. It was like mid-2000s. But it was... it was, if it was any more of a Diablo ripoff, they would have had to pay money to Blizzard. And literally in it, you were a guy crawling through. It had a bunch of Greek mythology in it, and you were just a big badass going through and wrecking house. Again, a dungeon crawl.
Snake orgy.
It was a loot crawl. I don't know. Can you think of any games that really got that Diablo formula right? Like, maybe more right than Diablo did.
Ah, shit. I mean, right? I don't know, but Borderlands.
Yeah, that's actually a really great example. Borderlands took that loot crawl, that loot grind, to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Frickin',
I mean,
that's why I'm playing it again.
it's Diablo with guns. Literally, that's what
Essentially.
it feels like.
Yeah.
You get that plasma cutter away from me.
Did you guys ever play a game called Hellgate? I think it was called Hellgate London. There was supposed to be a whole bunch of other Hellgates that came from it, but Hellgate London was the only one that ever spawned.
Nope.
Hellgate was super interesting because it kind of took that whole, you're fighting demons premise with that loot grind, and they took it to a completely different level. And unfortunately, the game, it just wasn't well polished enough, really, to take off. The intro to it was rivaling, some of the Diablo 2s and Diablo 3s of later. The intro was just really, really badass. And I think even games like Destiny took from that intro, because I see a lot of similarities in some of the, I think it was the Taken King, or no, what was Wrath of the Machine, actually, where Siva was all there, and the Guardians were sacrificing themselves by closing doors. Like, there was one scene out of that I'm like, that looks like the intro out of Hellgate London. Just instead of there being demons and a gate that you're trying to get through, they're closing a door and it's Siva following them. But Hellgate London was third person. Actually, no, I think it was first person for a bunch of it, but I think you could select first person, or you could select third person. And it had that kind of loot grindy feel to it, but it also had like an MMO feel to it as well. So you got in there and, you had your storage, but you also had places it had like a social space that felt like it was supposed to be an MMO, but it wasn't. It was a single player. And then later on, it actually turned into an MMO, or turned into something, I think, as close to an MMO as you can get before... Actually, I might still be up and running. Anybody know if Hellgate's still up and running? Oh, let me check.
Nope, because I've actually... my experience with these games is very limited. I played Diablo, and everything else is completely new to me. Besides what I mentioned with Borderlands.
Well, they're still selling Hellgate. Initial release date 2007. Doesn't say that it's not being maintained anymore. Ooh, there's a wiki. Let's go to the wiki. Oh, Hellgate London Resurrection is free to play. Oh, it's free to play. Well, look at that. There's a Hellgate VR in development? Oh my god. Alright, so this game isn't as dead as I thought. There's even novels? Jesus, where have I been? And a bitchin' cosplay. Should look at that.
What kind of cosplay?
I'll just post that in there for you guys.
Is it going to be like that one GIF I posted?
Nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty bitchin' cosplay there. Anywho, so Hellgate London was definitely it felt like a total Diablo clone, but it had a different feel. It was Diablo with guns. I mean, you had swords, you had guns, you had the different classes, you had magic. It was a pretty badass game, and unfortunately really underrated. But I guess it's got a following because they're still making shit for it, it seems.
I'll be in my bunk.
Yeah, you take that picture and you're welcome. What else spawned from the original Diablo? What else kicked out from it? We got the Fate series. Guessing a whole lot of dead air spawned from it.
Like I said, this is the Metal Gear episode to me all over again. I never played Diablo.
Well, let's go down. What do we got here? We've got...
I played some Command and Conquer, Red Alert 2.
We got Sacred, Legend, Hand of God, Loki, Heroes of Mythology, Mythios. That sounds really familiar. Getting a weird thud there. That was weird.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, so the gun, that particular audio, is not affected by the master mute at all.
Huh. Well, yeah, it seems that way since I just heard that. That was pretty cool.
Like, I'm pretty sure my neighbors heard that.
Well, now the big question. Out of all those ones that we just mentioned, were any of them really any good?
I'm going to go ahead and guess no, because I never even heard of them.
Fate was a really good series.
What'd you say, Zyber?
Fate was a really good series. Just like Torchlight, it was a really good series.
You know, I've heard a lot about Torchlight, but I don't think I ever played it.
It's a lot closer to Diablo than Fate was. Torchlight, similar premise of like going around and saving the world from darkness, but it was a loot crawler. You had that crafting element of armor and shit like that also, but it was mostly, hey, go and craft this and destroy shit and get more loot. I actually started to play Torchlight 2 not too long ago. That should have been in my state of games, but I didn't remember it until now.
Oh, boy. Yeah, there's been a lot of really nice dungeon crawlers. And really, they all kind of hold their roots back to... I guess roots would be the best way to describe it. Roots. Back to Diablo and that whole series. Now, did anybody do it before Diablo? Does anybody know?
That was E.T., right?
Yes, E.T. did it. This is of course what a show sounds like when we didn't really do a lot of research.
I was in the mountains being chased by cats.
You were, but you still had that blue moon.
Bullshit.
Yes.
No one did it better. I don't think anyone really even did it. But then again, Diablo came out around the time that I actually started getting interested in games.
I wouldn't go hands down Diablo. I mean, sure, they may have started the mold, but they didn't perfect it.
Now, do you mean perfect it at the time or perfect it as in ever?
As in, really, I don't know, so much as probably ever. I mean, sure, they do a great game through Blizzard, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think Diablo is really all that much of maybe it's because I'm burnt out on Diablo, but I don't think it's the greatest thing out there. I think there's still potential in the works, so I'm leaving that jury open.
All right. I can respect that.
I don't know. For the time, I probably did it better. I mean, from what I've read, it did it better. But I mean, that's an opinion piece, and it's not my opinion because I never really played the game.
Yeah, I think Titan Quest came out during the Diablo 2 era, when Diablo 2 was out, and had been out for quite a bit. So I enjoyed Titan Quest probably more than I enjoyed Diablo 2, but only because it was a little bit fresher. I was in between games, and Titan Quest just seemed to fill that niche that I was looking for. Anyways, so we've got a single question from the audience. And actually, I'm not even going to say the audience because it's a single question from Zyber. So Zyber, why don't you ask that question there, guy?
All right. My question is, do you think a school teacher should be fired for being involved with participating, hosting, say, pornographic media, be it past or current?
Now, when you say participating in, you mean like they starred in, or like they were a fluffer on it, or they did sound for it?
Anything.
I'm going to need some research material before I can answer that correctly.
I'm going to go with no. I know it sounds like kind of a fucked up way answer, but the point of it being that teachers are considered role models, and if you're looking at a large group of people, I doubt you're going to find someone in there that wants their child to have that as their role model, someone who did porn. It's not a matter of what they did per se, whether it was, gay or not, but, because there's that argument that some people have about gay scoutmasters and stuff like that.
Oh, stop.
But the whole being in it, I don't think that's good, because a lot of these kids look up to teachers, and sometimes that's the only positive role model that they have in their lives.
That's a good argument.
I think it shouldn't be a issue whatsoever. What someone does in their own personal time is their own personal business. No one has any right to govern what someone else does as long as it's legal.
Yeah, but that's the problem, is that once you create a media like that, it's not your personal business anymore. You're making it public. So I think that's where Blue's coming from, is that it's public.
Well, regardless of that, regardless of it being a public thing, who cares? It's nudity. It's sex. Big fucking deal.
Yeah, but it's kind of like one of those things where if you do a felony, you can't get hired for a job. They kind of do care what you did. And
as long as everybody's legal in the issue, who cares?
Well, I mean, that's also a compelling argument. I can see both sides. What about you, Shadow? Are you done with your research? I see that you got a napkin there.
Yeah. I don't have kids, nor do I have any intention to have them, so I don't really have a dog in this fight. But to me, however you paid your bills for college, I mean, country's hurting for fucking teachers overall. And they're only dwindling their pool so much there.
Right, and say this particular teacher in question does a phenomenal job academically. And it's not like they're, oh, I don't care, whatever, kids, do what you must during my class. They're actually teaching the class, and the class has great standards. Should that teacher be fired?
So I'm kind of on the fence on this one, because if it were 20 years ago, before YouTube, before everybody had a cell phone, before nobody friggin' regulates what people search, what their kids search on their cell phone. And I say that nobody is a blanket statement, and just like every blanket statement, there's exceptions to the rules. Before you get your panties in a bunch, yes, I know there are people who do that. A vast majority of people do not, however. So with that in mind, if it were 20 or so years ago, I would say it shouldn't matter, because whatever they did in their past to pay their bills, to get through college, to get to the point where they're teaching my kid, whatever it may be, okay, whatever, you did it. But now that there's just so much access to information, I mean, come on, Zyber, think about it. If we're sitting there in business class, and all of a sudden somebody starts passing around their phone, and there's Mr. McMorris's big schlong hanging out, slapping against some chick's face. I mean, that would impede.
I would be that kid that stands up and says, "Dude, you got a big dick."
I know, but the problem is that would now diminish any student's view of that teacher. Even if they were doing fantastic academically.
I don't know. Me personally, guess it's just the person that I am. I'd have a lot of respect for them, because it's like, wow, you went and did something like this. Can I do that?
Kids are horrible. You got to realize that you as a person now is completely different than you as a person at 12 and 13. At 12 and 13, well, we were all dicks.
Now, see, the thing, though, is you'd have those individuals that are like, all right, cool. There are certain people at our school that all I could hear is, oh, Mr. Carr is so hot. If Mr. Carr was doing porn and these people saw that, they'd be flagging themselves.
But then you've lost all respect for that teacher, because you've gained it. Now all of a sudden, now you've got to deal with, oh, well, they did this. I know that they did this. Now I can use that as leverage, or I can try to make advances on them. And then you've got kids sleeping with teachers, which is already happening. So that's happening without porn. I mean, hell, it just sounds like again, if it was 20 years ago, I think it wouldn't have mattered whatsoever. Because if you and I were searching at the house and all of a sudden we saw Mr. McMorris, his big schlong slapping against a chick's face, we'd be like, oh my God, that's Mr. McMorris. Oh my God. And we probably would sit there in shock for a little while, trying to figure out what to do. Nowadays, though, as soon as somebody finds it, it's a crossover. I mean, hell, some teenage chick does a Snapchat with somebody, and because they're convinced to flash their boobs or something, all of a sudden that's across the school, and people are committing suicide over that.
Okay. I have no remorse for that kind of weakness, though. I really don't. I mean, if you're going to do something so retarded as kill yourself because someone's making fun of you because you flashed your boobs and one's a little deflated.
But that's my point, is that kids are not rational.
And they're very impressionable.
I know. I lived through irrational bullshit. But at no point did it say to me, hey, guess what? Do something stupid and make it a point and become like some kind of like twisted, sad martyr to your school.
But that's you. That's not kids as a whole. And again, we grew up in a time where that information wasn't there, where we could do stupid stuff and it wasn't recorded. Like, shit, dude, there was plenty of stuff I did that if it got recorded, I'd be laughing my balls off about it today, but I'd probably be looking back at it, and if it floated around school on YouTube back then, I'd be like, oh shit, well, now I can't show my face around this school again. I mean, I know firecrackers up your butt and doing the whole dance around thing is normal nowadays, but then I don't think it was. That's so many friggin' blank stares there. Like, I didn't even get, like, Blue, I actually thought his video froze for a second. Like, I thought he was froze solid.
I'm used to this crap coming out of your mouth.
Touche. No, I don't. I guess if it was something that happened in their past, I wouldn't be too much of a big deal about it. It'd be like, hey, as long as, I guess it would be kind of one of those full disclosure things. If they walked into the job and they said, hey, look, this is what happened. This is what I did. Here's my resume. And you can see right there, fluffer for Ron Jeremy. It's right on right up there. And then they ask, what's a fluffer? Oh, that's where I sucked his dick a lot when he was on stage or on set getting ready to, rip one. Be like, oh, like that's a thing? Like, yeah, that's a thing. Like, that's what it's called. That's what I did. Like, you have a really deep voice for being a fluffer. It'd be like, yeah, that's just like how it rolls. He was weird. He was a weird guy. But I mean, if it was full disclosure and the school was cool with it, then I would say, yeah, friggin' run with it. But I think at that point in time that, because, and also the school's got to have an image too. I mean, the school's got a stake in the game in that. And it looked just like Blue said. I mean, you're trying to have role models for your kids, and while paying your bills any way you can, I mean, honestly, that sends a good message. Hey, pay your bills. What, you gotta jack some guy off? You gotta take a shot in the eye? Whatever. Hey, that's how you pay the bills. That's how you pay the bills.
Well, when you take one in the eye, you always see them coming.
Okay, that was a good joke. That one I didn't even expect. Oh God. Yeah, I don't know. I'm way on the fence about it. Definitely if it's during. So, like, if you're a teacher and you're doing porn simultaneously, I think you got to shit or get off the pot. I think you got to decide one or the other. Like, there was that one teacher that was doing exotic dancing on the side. Like, that to me, it's like, hey, I understand you don't get paid that much as a teacher, but
I'm sorry, but I see no difference in being a stripper and doing porn. You're still being paid for your body.
Yeah, you're still being paid for your body, but you're being paid every single night for it versus, hey, here's one lump sum.
Yes, and also I think in certain places you can only show so much.
But even still, I mean, that's still not floating around the internet. You do porn.
Yeah, and there's 18-year-old cheerleaders that go to strip clubs every night to make money or do cam shows.
No, and hey, if that's what they do, that's what they do. And I'm totally not downplaying them for that. I'm just saying that if you're a teacher, if you're trying to be a positive role model, saying to young girls, it's okay to take your clothes off for money, is probably not the message that I want them sending right away. Maybe wait for them to get out of school before you send them that message. Hey, you know what? If my college professor or one of my student mentors were like, hey, by the way, I strip over here, I would be like, hey, by the way, I've got a pocket full of like $1 bills. And she'd be like, you still got to finish this assignment, and be like, oh, I'm going to finish it. I'm totally going to finish. That would be a different story. I'm in college. Preferably I've developed a little. So, by then I would think, okay, yeah, that'd be cool. But if it were elementary school, I think at least before I'd be like, yeah, whatever the hell you did. Hey, whatever you did to pay the bills and make it so that I wasn't paying for you, rock on. After, I think, is a moot point, because after they're done teaching, they're like 800 years old. And I mean, there are websites for grannies. No, we're not going to think about that. We're going to move right past that. And
grilled cheese sandwich,
Colby.
Colby.
Oh, yeah, that's where my head was going to.
Cecil has an erection now. I can see it.
Actually, that's the microphone. That's the microphone.
It's just the cover to the microphone hiding it.
But in case you're curious, wetgrannies.com. Wetgrannies.com.
I think you need to bleep that, honestly.
I don't even know if that's a real site.
He's lying to the audience again.
No, I really don't, and I'm terrified to put it in my web browser. I really am.
Just remember, when you eat that grilled cheese, you need a little Tabasco sauce.
Oh God. Oh, Jesus Christ. On that note, Blue, where can people find you at, man?
You can find me on Twitter at BlueShark45. You can also find me on Mixer. It's mixer.com/BlueShark45. And you can find me here on the G.N.A Discord, which you can find on our pinned tweet at GNApodcast.com.
What about you, Shadow? Where can people find you at, man?
Being chased by jungle cats in the mountains.
With a blue moon.
With a blue moon. And then my website, morganbs.com. All my links are on there, and the G.N.A pod, our Discord. Oh, God, I'm tired. You can find me in the Discord now that I'm actually back at home, have my computer again.
Rock on. And Zyber, if not in a strip club trolling for school teachers, where can people find you at?
Right at the Albany Public Records, trolling for horny teachers and go-getters of all the sort. But no, you can find me on the G.N.A Twitter, Facebook, and Discord, as well as my own Facebook and Twitter. Other than that, if you want to play a game, just hop onto the Discord and pull up my profile. All my links are there.
Oh, God. Wetgrannies.com is a thing. Oh, God. I had to look. It was a morbid curiosity, and I had to look.
Please tell me you at least did it incognito so the NSA didn't track you.
No. I think, oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
What? You didn't use a fucking VPN? What the fuck, dude?
No. I'm starting to see artifacts. I think China just hacked my computer. This is bad. Well, until China finishes wiping my hard drive and telling me that I have to pay $500 to get my computer unlocked from ransomware. I'm Cecil Xavier, your host. You can find me at Cecil vs. Games on Twitter, Cecil Xavier everywhere else, Facebook, Ustream, Twitch, Mixer, pretty much everywhere you can try to find me. Also on Steam, I'm Cecil Xavier there. You can also find me trolling around the G.N.A podcast, Discord, TPC's Discord, Yeah Do Gamers, Microbrew Gamers. Forgot the rest of them. I'm on a ton of Discords. If it's out there, I'm probably on it. I'm on Fantasy Grounds Discord. But
he's even on wetgrannies.com Discord.
Yeah, actually, ironically, I just clicked the link and I am now, and it's disturbing as all hell. I might have to just gouge my eyes out for that. Yeah. Oh, man, I forgot I can share my screen. Hold on. The looks on everybody's face.
Please call.
I am calling 911 now, but they are not answering.
Just the amount, the quickness that I saw people's hands go to their keyboards and mouse to just minimize Discord at that point in time. That was amazing, guys.
Yep. Not fucking with that shit.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes and Spreaker. Reviews and rates help people find the show. So if you enjoy the show, help other people find the show by giving us a rate or review. You can also hear us on Android with Google Play Music, Podcast Addict, Stitcher, Player FM, Spreaker, MyTuner, Your Listen, wherever the hell else you want. And yes, we are now on Spotify. So you can find us there. Just search G.N.A.space-podcast and you will find us.
Or if you have Assistant, just speak it.
Yeah, if you've got Google Home, just say, "Hey Google, play the latest episode of the G.N.A podcast." As my phone starts playing it for me.
Does that actually work? Because that's awesome.
It does work. It absolutely does work. If you've got a Google Home, it will start it right up and it will start playing.
Awesome.
You can also follow us on Twitter. Just search @G.N.A podcast or join our Discord chat. See the pinned tweet. We're on Facebook as well. Search @G.N.A podcast, and we try to keep our schedules fairly up to date, at least a week in advance on Discord. So our game show nights game show nights are every first Saturday, except for this next month coming up. It's going to be the second Saturday. Horror movie night is the Saturday following game show night. So if you see game show night and you're like, oh crap, I want to get on for horror movie, it's the following weekend. And we have weekly anime night on Wednesday. We just finished season 1 of Knights of Sidonia, which it was weird, but I dug it. I really dug it. I thought it was even the little idiosyncrasies of like, well, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? There are some things that that God pointed out while he was here when we were watching, just like all the clones have the exact same number. I never would have freaking caught that. He's like, look, they all have the same number. I'm like, holy shit, they all do.
Well, they're image clones in the anime as well, so why not?
But I was like, that's freaking cool. But how the hell did you how do you tell them apart? They're identical.
There's a tattoo on the inside of the labia.
All right, that explains why. Yeah. Anyway, we've also started hosting guests on our streaming feeds on Twitch and Mixer, both G.N.A podcast. We've partnered with Humble Bundle. Hey, why don't you tell us about Humble Bundle, Mr. Jungle Cat Chaser?
All right, let me just bring up the approved speech for that. There we go. If I don't do it right, he'll hit me. You ready? Oh my god, am I live? Oh god, oh god. Oh, you guys are screwing with me. I hate you. We have partnered with Humble Bundle. Oh wait, yeah. Humble Bundle is a game purchasing service that we, G.N.A, are partnered with. You can purchase games like you normally would, but with a twist. You can choose what part goes to the publisher, to Humble Bundle, or to charity. You can give it all to charity if you want, or none of it. Your call. Throw that partner equal G.N.A podcast at the end of your Humble Bundle link before you let them know, or before you buy to let them know we sent you our way. That way. Oh my god, I'm so bad with reading. So far this month we have raised $36.97 for charity through our partnership with Humble Bundle. God, I'm so
Holy
bad at
shit,
this.
that's the biggest record yet.
Oh my god, that's like everything combined, actually.
Oh my god, oh god, I don't know whether I want to like go shoot up a gaming tournament now or if I want to go find stripper teachers. But that was horrible, Shadow.
No, you want to go find grilled cheese grannies.
No, I found those.
You guys are doing the deadpan thing like my microphone was muted and screwing with me again. Dicks.
We're a proud member of the Ninja Pancake community. Check out our friends Proxy Fox at Yadu Gaming and Caleb and Alex at Geek Squatch, which we haven't heard from them in a while. We gotta go to Cost them, see if we can get them back on the show. We want to
just send them a granny link.
Oh god, yeah, I'm gonna send it to everybody. Just don't open your text messages, whatever you do. We want to thank Morgan BS Photography for our new logo and artwork. Check him out at morganbs.com. Email us at gnapodcast@gnaneyourdna.1 with questions, comments, death threats. For the love of God, please don't send us any more granny porn sites because I can't unsee that. I'm scarred for life. I love you, Nana. Anyway, last but not least, check out our website, www.gnapodcast.com. Yeah, about all I got. I miss anything?
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right.